God bless the great state of Missouri. And I gotta say, as a Texan, it makes you feel good to be here with the Longhorns. Y'all really know how to make a Texan feel at home. Thank you. You know, it is such a privilege to be here with Patriots. It's such a privilege to be here with Rich and Eric and Bob. It's such a privilege to be here with David Linbaugh. How incredible is David? David's a Missouri native who stands up and speaks for conservative values with a national platform that moves and energizes and speaks to people's souls. And let me say thank you to the men and women of Missouri for sending Ann Wagner to fight for you in the United States Congress. And how about Carly? Isn't she extraordinary? A world-respected business leader who stands up and fights. And I gotta say, it sure seems that Carly scares the living daylights out of Hillary Clinton. See Hillary tossing and turning at night in her jail cell. You know, all of us are here today for a very simple reason. Our country is in crisis. We're bankrupting our kids and grandkids. Our constitutional rights are under assault each and every day. And America has receded from leadership in the world. And yet I'm here today with a word of hope and encouragement all across this country. People are waking up and help is on the way. This election, I believe, will come down to three simple issues: jobs, freedom, and security. Let's talk about jobs. I want to talk for a minute to the single mom that's here, who's working 2 or 3 part-time jobs. You've had your hours forcibly reduced to 28, 29 hours a week because Obamacare kicks in at 30 hours a week. I want to talk to the truck drivers and steel workers and mechanics and plumbers, to the union members, to the men and women with calluses on your hands. You've seen wages stagnate. Year after year after year, cost of living keeps going up, but somehow wages never seem to keep pace. I want to talk to all the young people coming out of school. You got student loans up to your eyeballs, and yet you're scared. Am I going to get a job? What does the future hold? Can I provide for my family? And the media tries to tell us this is as good as it gets. Let me tell you right now, that is an absolute lie. You know, it's easy to talk about making America great again. You can even print that on a baseball cap. And they make those caps real cheap over in China. But the real question is, do you understand the principles and values that made America great in the first place? The heart of our economy isn't Washington, D.C., and it isn't New York City. The heart of our economy is small businesses all across this great country. You want to kill the economy, do what we've done for the last 7 years, hammer the living daylights out of small businesses. You want to see the economy explode? Lift the boot of the federal government off the backs of the necks of small businesses. If I'm elected president, we will repeal every word of Obamacare. We'll pass common sense health care reform that makes health insurance personal and portable and affordable and keeps government from getting in between us and our doctors. And we will pass a simple flat tax. So that every American can fill out our taxes on a postcard. And when we do that, we should abolish the IRS. We're going to rein in the EPA. And the CFPB, and the alphabet soup of federal agencies that have descended like locusts on small businesses, killing jobs all across this country. And we're going to stop amnesty, secure the borders, end sanctuary cities, and end welfare benefits for those here illegally. And the effect of all of that is going to be millions of high-paying jobs. There's going to be wages rising for everybody. There's going to be young people coming out of school with 2, 3, 4, 5 job offers. It'll be morning in America again. The second critical issue in this election is freedom. You know, just a few weeks ago, the passing of Justice Scalia underscored the stakes of this election. We are one liberal justice away from a radical 5-justice left-wing majority, the likes of which this country's never seen. It is not just one branch of government, but 2 that hang in the balance. We are one liberal justice away from the United States Supreme Court stripping away the religious liberty of every American. We are one liberal justice away from the Supreme Court effectively erasing the Second Amendment from the Bill of Rights. We are one liberal justice away from the Supreme Court making us subject to the World Court and the United Nations and international law and giving up U.S. sovereignty. Now, you know, a couple of debates ago, we were asked a question about the Supreme Court and religious liberty. And Donald Trump turned to me, he said, "Ted, I've known a lot more politicians than you have." Well, in that, he's right. He's been supporting left-wing Democratic politicians for 40 years. I have no experience with that. But Trump continues, he said, "Ted, you've got to learn when it comes to religious liberty, when it comes to the Supreme Court, you've got to learn to compromise. You've got to learn to cut a deal and make a deal with the Democrats." Well, let me be very, very clear to the men and women of Missouri. I will not compromise away your religious liberty. And I will not compromise away your Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. Donald Trump has told us he's prepared to go and deal with Chuck Schumer and Harry Reid and the Democrats to agree on Antonin Scalia's replacement. Any judge that Schumer and Reid sign off on is going to be a left-wing judicial activist who will undermine our rights. I give you my solemn commitment that every justice I put on the Supreme Court will be a principled constitutionalist, faithful to the law, who will ferociously protect the Bill of Rights. Third critical issue in this election is security. You know, for 7 years, we've had a president who abandons our friends and allies and who shows weakness and appeasement to our enemies. But I'll tell you what, in January 2017, he's going to be without. You know, a couple of debates ago, Donald Trump, again, explained his view that if he were president, he would be neutral between Israel and the Palestinians. Well, let me be very clear. As president, I have no intention of being neutral. America will stand unapologetically with the nation of Israel. We need a commander-in-chief who understands the difference between our friends and enemies. And you know, you look the last 7 years at what has happened to the military. We've seen our military weaken. We've seen readiness undermined. We've seen morale of our troops plummeting. And you know, we've seen this happen before. We've seen another left-wing Democratic president, Jimmy Carter, weaken the military. And in January 1981, Ronald Reagan came into office. Now, what did Reagan do? Reagan cut taxes, he lifted regulations, small business.